Afternoon, Dr. Cook. My name is Janika Wilson, and today I will be talking to you about a professional boundary for a professional development 3 assignment. And I have learned that setting boundaries within your intern site or your work environment is very good for you so that way you won't have to tire yourself out. And I have divided 2 sections for me to describe 4 of my best boundaries and 4 of my challenges I have with setting boundaries. So for behavioral boundaries I do well are the first one will be set limit. So when I'm at ACE Learning Center, I have a time. I always write down the time I come in and the time I leave. When I schedule time in either on my calendar, on my phone, or if I write it down, it helps me to remember what time certain days supposed to do. Let's say between 9 o'clock to 9:30, we have circuit time. We'll allow all the children to come in and we have circuit time, or like between from 9:30 to about, let's say about 10:30, we'll have music time, and then we have dance time, which is a good way for me because it's very structured and time wise, so I can know when to do the next step. The second boundary I do well is take time to respond. I'm very diligent of responding to colleagues or staff members' questions if they have anything question for me, which is not hard at all. I'm very good with answering feedback from criticism or positive feedback from my staff members or even from the director at ACE Learning Center. And this right here has helped me to know of myself that I have the ability to respond to any question anybody has. My third I do well in is correct structure. I like it to correct structure of the time I come in and the times I leave, and also know what we're supposed to do for that day, so that way it could go smoothly. If I feel like I don't have a structure, then I feel like my mind will be scattered. So for me, it's best for me to have to create a good structure for me to work at ACE Learning Center, so that I can have a peace of mind and self-control. And for my last behavioral boundary that I do well at ACE Learning Center as a professional would be remembering I have a choice. So at ACE Learning Center, I have a choice to be there, which is something I love, because I love to be around children. I feel like if there's something you love to do, it doesn't matter how much time you put into it. As long as you love something, you remember that you made the right choice. But however, if you don't like a career that you don't want to do, I feel like you shouldn't do something that you don't love. So it's very easy for me to remember I have a choice, because I chose to love children and I chose to be in the field I am today. So, moving on with some of the examples, I have done some examples. I'll say with creating structure, having a daily routine for 1-year-olds can help them to learn to repeat the same routine. It helps 1-year-olds to learn better. I'm not sure why children learn while repeating the same routine, but it helps them to learn each and every day as I see them doing the 3rd week of internship. So now I will gonna be move on to boundary settings that has been challenging for me for a while. Would be number 1, seeking help. Sometimes I'm not always confident of seeking help from others. I'm always like to do things on my own independently. But as I have invested into taking care of children, I realized that I have to always seek help for advice from my mentors or my staff members because they've been there before I have. So I have to learn how to seek help, which I'm learning very well to seek for help. Number 2 would be communicating clearly. For me, sometimes my voice could be low, sometimes it could be scratchy. That's because I'm always nervous around other people or older people because it's hard for me to communicate clearly. So that's one of my boundaries I have challenging. But as I have been doing internship with ACE Learning Center, I have learned to speak clearly in simple language that people can understand, as well for children to understand me. Another challenging boundary I would say would be practicing saying no. For me, I'm very kind-hearted person. I would like to say yes. I would like to do this for you, or I would like to I would do this for you, even though I don't have time for myself. But I prefer to help others. That's how kind-hearted I am. But I realize sometimes when in a working setting, you have to set a boundary with if let's say if it's simple, if I have a CEO and I have a manager. The CEO gives me an assignment to do that needs to be done in 2 weeks. And here comes the manager who has also been assigned from the CEO, but he wants me to help also do his paper that is due in the same time as I have to complete my paper for the president. Me as an employee has to say no to the manager because the CEO asked me to do a job he wants me to do. I know it would be hard for me to say no to the manager because he's above me, but I have to learn how to say no. I need to do the CEO work, period, because that's my job, to do the CEO assignment first. And for my last challenge or boundary would be you cannot always please everybody. I noticed that in most work settings I have worked in, not everybody you have come in contact has the same. Everybody have different personalities. Everybody have different views, and you can't always please everybody because everybody's not the same, just like you are. If there's some people may be so attached to their own self, but you can't always please everybody. So sometimes if they don't like you, they don't like you. If they like you, they like you. You can't really force somebody to change just because you're there. So it's also important for me to know that I can't please everybody. And this is how life really supposed to be when you enter the workforce. Whether it's something you love or whether it's something you were forced to do. So And so these is all my boundaries that I have done well, and some of the boundaries that I have not done that are challenging for me. And thank you so much, Dr. Cook, for helping me to know my own boundaries just by taking time and reading the documents you have sent us through the professional development 3 um, worksheet, which helped me a lot to understand what I want to do well in and what something that's challenging for me. And I thank you so much. I hope that you have a good night. Please stay safe during this coronavirus. I know that things have changed to online completely, but I know that you have helped me a lot. And this is my last semester with you. And I thank you so much for giving me all the encouragement that I need to um, further my future, and hopefully I'll find a job that best fit for me. Thank you, Dr. Cook, for listening to my YouTube video, and I hope to see you soon. Have a good night.